The month after I made my first $10,000 a month, I made zero. The month after I made my first $50,000, I made $20,000. And the month after I did my first 6 figures, I just made $30,000. For years, I noticed a pattern. Every time things started to pick up speed and go well, I will sabotage. And after working with hundreds of founders, from 10K a month up to 130 million a year, I've realized that pattern is universal. You get 80 to 90% of a breakthrough, but then just like that, you freeze, you pull back, you sabotage the very thing that you were actively building. And if you've done this, you are not alone. This video will unravel why this happened and, more importantly, how to avoid it from happening again. Now, quick pause. If you're actually serious about executing with peak clarity, focus, and consistency every single day, we've worked hundreds of founders, remove procrastination and burnout by about 90%, triple the productivity within about 6 weeks, and we're rated 4.7 on Trustpilot. So if you truly want to succeed fast, the easy way, book a call with us. The problem with this is that your subconscious sees success as a threat. Your mind collapses when things are going well because the next level threatens 3 structures that built your identity. Structure number 1 is what I call the identity layer. It's how you see yourself subconsciously, because your identity is made of subconscious predictions. How you're supposed to think, to feel, to act. How much do you believe you can handle? What outcomes feel normal for you, and how much success feels safe? So every time you hear a voice in your head doubting your plans, questioning your trust in yourself, that's not a mindset issue. That is faulty subconscious programming. Because to your subconscious, your identity is built on stability, and stability is based on survival. So any change that threatens that stability is considered dangerous. So the moment your behavior contradicts your old self story, because you become more consistent, you hit a record month, you do hard, meaningful work for the first time, your brain fires an alarm. It says, this isn't who we are, we need to go back to what is us. And this is why you relapse the moment you hit a milestone. You can hit 100 days on progress on one specific habit, and then you blow it on day 100. This feels irrational, but it is not. From a subconscious perspective, it's highly rational. It's preserving your identity. And this identity thread is just the first layer. The second one is even more primal. This is what I call the safety layer. See, your brain threat system is optimized for safety, not uncertainty. And success increases uncertainty, responsibility, expectations, pressure. So the subconscious translated into one message. This is uncertain. This is most probably dangerous. We are going to die. And it lights up the same circuitry in the brain as physical danger. Your fear center, the amygdala, activates, your thinking center, prefrontal cortex, shuts down, and your cognitive bandwidth, your ability to think and get things done, collapses. And this is why you procrastinate. This is why you have mental fog. This is why you have overwhelm. This is not a personal weakness. It's literally your brain operating efficiently for what it evolved to do. When you want the next level, but you can't consistently work to get it, is because uncertainty is preventing you from getting there. Because the brain is scared of that uncertainty, and success increases that uncertainty 100x. But there's a deeper layer that nobody talks about that really keeps the cycle locked in, which is what I call the coherence layer. Because when the brain cannot reconcile your current success level with your identity, it freezes, because it requires a coherent model of who you are. And when you grow too fast, the model breaks. Coherence breaks down when your vision expands, but your identity stays small and your past evidence contradicts your future goals. So for instance, you want something that is so out of reach that you end up fragmenting your sense of self, and you start chronically overthinking, or not trusting yourself, or drifting into low leverage tasks. Your subconscious cannot sustain the success pattern that you are trying to instill it. So it collapses back into coherence. This is why success feels so hard to attain. And sabotaging or self-collapsing is a preservation mechanism. And the way out is to recognize that there is just a pattern that you have to rewire, because it is just a subconscious protecting you from an identity you don't yet believe you belong to. It is not a personal failure, but rather is an opportunity for rewiring your brain for it. And there's 5 steps that I train my clients in that fix this. Step number 1 is to commit to a clear, intrinsic goal you actually want. And this is not about writing a vision board or picking a revenue target. This is about identifying one outcome your psyche is pulled towards with desire that keeps resurfacing in your life no matter how often you try to ignore it. And that intrinsic goal is enormous, but it feels safe at a subconscious level. And it's not an abstract fantasy, rather is a very concrete event in the future that you feel compelled to chase. Just like the first alpinists were compelled to climb Mount Everest. It was an enormous task back then, and it was only achieved back in 1953, but for 50 years it captured the imagination of great climbers who wanted to get to that goal. Then step number 2 is to rewrite your identity. See, your current identity is optimized for your past life, not the one you're trying to create, and most certainly not the vision that you just said. So you have to reconstruct your beliefs, your internal prediction, your behavior defaults, so keep you operating as your old self in order to have a chance to achieve that goal. The moment you span your identity, your next level stops feeling like a threat to your subconscious and it becomes psychologically normal. Step number 3 is to rewire the threat interpretation of progress. Right now, as we just discussed, your brain misclassifies success as danger because uncertainty, responsibility, and visibility activate that survival system. So you have to retrain the nervous system to interpret progress as safe. So momentum no longer triggers overwhelm or resistance. You replace the old program of progress equals threat to progress equals capability. And once this shift occurs, the emotional spike, paralysis, and self-sabotage starts disappearing. The 4th step is to build coherence. It's all about aligning yourself with that new identity that we created in the previous step. So your identity, who you think you are, your behavior, what you actually do, and the outcomes that you are getting actually point towards the same direction that we said on step 1. And then step 5 is gamify your growth. See, your subconscious does not respond to pep talks, affirmations, journaling, or mindset training. No, it responds to evidence. And the best evidence is the one that you can collect, falsify, and track yourself. I give my clients a dashboard that clearly shows how many high leverage actions did you complete, how many days did they do hard stuff without collapsing, how many new behaviors are sticking. Those provide clear proof of their transformation so they can build a new sense of identity. So you don't sabotage because you are weak or lazy or undisciplined. No, you sabotage because your subconscious program is not ready yet for the next level of growth. That is why it tries to drag you back to a level of life that feels safe. And no tactic, routine, or mindset hack can override that. Only identity engineering is carefully mapping out your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors and rewiring those that are not aligned with what you're trying to achieve. That's how you lock in momentum. This is how you scale your business without breaking yourself. And if you want our help, we work with 100 founders every year to do exactly this. Book a call below. See you in the next video.